view is insane right here. So welcome to episode 2, where we're gonna go from $0 to $1 million in funding. For this episode, I'm gonna go through every single trade that I've taken so far. Because it's the first challenge, we might have to kind of compress a lot of days just to start off the challenge. I don't want it to be very boring. However, trading is sometimes really boring. You might have days where you don't get trades. You might have days where you're kind of break even though you take a multiple trades. So that's why I'm compressing a couple days just for this episode to kind of go through first phase of the challenge, which is the first 100K challenge. First 100K challenge is possibly going to be kind of the most difficult because we're starting with absolutely nothing. There's a little bit more pressure now, so you're gonna see me how I'm gonna deal with that pressure and see exactly my mindset going into this challenge today. But without further ado, let's just jump into the charts. All right, so to start the challenge, we have to first purchase our first 100K challenge account. In this case, I've done a lot of research around all of the prop firms available, and I've chose Alpha Capital Group. From what I've seen so far, they have kind of the best rules and they do pay out. So I'm just on their website right now. This is the Alpha Pro 100K challenge. It's for $500. Now, the good thing about Alpha Capital Pro, you can either choose a raw spread account, which you don't have a lot of spreads, or you can choose the no commission. In this case, you won't pay any commission to any trade that you enter, which is pretty nice, to be fair. So for $500, but there was a discount code for 25% off, which brought it down to around $385. Perfect. So you'll see my live counter right here. This is going to cover how much I've paid so far for all challenges. In this case, it's negative 385. And our current challenge is a 100K challenge account. And we're currently 0 in live funded. So let's get straight into our trades that we've taken so far. Started this challenge kind of the ugliest way possible. Let me tell you about that. Coming to May 22, this is gold, obviously. And I only trade gold for this. We took this low at 24.06. We took that low and I was hoping for higher price. So we actually start this with a loss, which is kind of great, honestly. If you ask me, like, I was blessed to start off with a loss because I don't want to kind of show you just the perfect side of trading. I want to show you like a really realistic day in the life trader. Moving on, so after I've taken those two losses, obviously price is kind of just creating lower highs and lower lows. Woke up the second day right here, lower high, lower low, clearly kind of in a downtrend right here. Here's exactly my entry after we've shot down right here. I mostly trade in volume. When there's volume in the market, that's when I'm in the trade. After I've seen this huge sell side, I placed my entry right on 23.65. I love how we react to our entry. So price triggered us, wicked it, and went instantly into profit. Right here, you can see I've taken first on 22nd of May, 4,300. Fortunately, the $300 is in spreads. And the second day on 23, we've taken another loss of $300, which should be a break even, but because of spreads, it is what it is. So we're currently down 4,600 total on the account. The account balance is 95,400. And after dealing with a few losses, it's not healthy to kind of just keep on trading because you're kind of mentally affected by those losses. Anybody is. And then jumping straight into Tuesday, May 28th, you can see right here kind of the shift in price action from a downtrend to an uptrend. This is exactly what I had in front of my eyes. I was just trading price actions. After prices shot up this high, my eyes were looking here. What happened? We kind of swept that liquidity of that low and then started to range. And I really like that because that told me one thing, that first of all, we took that low. We're not kind of breaking that low anytime soon because we kept ranging right here. And you can see on the lower time frames, you can see definitely higher highs and higher lows being formed. And that's exactly what I entered. And it was an awesome trade. So we ended up catching a 2.4 risk to reward trade, which is absolutely phenomenal. So after that winning trade, came back the next day, which is Wednesday, May 29. So after we've shot up a little bit higher, and then we kind of started ranging. So So our higher time frame view is downtrend. So that's why after we've kind of shot up, we've kind of mitigated another OB on the higher time frames right here. We started ranging. That's where I would like to just enter a continuation. Right here, I was kind of hoping to get like a higher entry to catch a continuation, but price was not giving a break. It was just shooting lower and lower. So placed my sell stops right below the lows, and then it went straight down into profits, which gave us good volume. That's what I like to see again when I enter the trade. This was a break-even trade. Targets was at least 1 to 2 R, and it's just unfortunate, you know, it went back to our break-even. It is what it is. No hard feelings. Absolutely fine. On to the next day. We're not gonna try and overtrade. We're not gonna try and dive back in. We're just gonna leave the charts as is. Look for more setups tomorrow. Right here, so you can see this was a break-even. Boom, right here. First trade was a kind of a bit of a loss. All right, so jumping into the next day on Thursday, May 30, we're kind of seeing change in trend. So we're going from lower lows, lower highs to higher highs and higher lows. We cut losses here after we've seen this volume. I've taken out, instead of a 2,000 loss, I cut that down to only $500, which is great. Entered right here, stops right below, and then price straight up starting shooting up. A lot of big volume, lovely trade. I closed it at 2.4 R, which is awesome. So this was a Thursday. On Friday, I didn't take any trades because the market just simply didn't give us any entries. I'm not gonna force trades, simply gonna wait until another day comes in. And that's why on Monday, June 3rd, first trading day of the month, there was a lot of volume. Same exact setup. You can see literally the same exact setup. We were coming from a lower low, lower highs to now forming higher highs and higher lows. This was one of the bigger stop losses that I've had. But again, I wanted to keep myself safe from price getting into my stop loss. So I'm not just setting up tight stop losses. I'm making them a little bit wider just so that I'm sure that I'm kind of protected. So you can see I closed this trade a little bit earlier. I didn't like the drawdown at all. This was painful to watch, especially on a funding challenge that I kind of really have to pass because we don't want to, you know, buy many challenges from the start. So you can see here we had around like 80% drawdown. This was around 1600 in drawdown before price shot straight up. And unfortunately, we kind of just stopped the trade around 0.5 R just because I didn't like how kind of the range that was forming right above our entry. No loss here, just a 0.5 win. So after that, I was off the charts the whole entire day. Came back the next day and kind of saw what price did. We kind of mitigated this OB right here where we're going lower. So the overall higher time frame of price action right now, we're in a downtrend right now. So after price mitigated this OB, we're looking for continuation. So we're up totally 4% after this higher time frame and mitigated the higher time frame OB. We're looking to go on a downtrend and kind of dive into a continuation trade right here. Next thing you know, we hit a stop loss, which is really unfortunate. So I waited patiently. Next thing you know, it took our first stop loss. It wicked that OB. There's an OB right here, just wicked it. And I saw this huge sell candle. I placed my limits. Price just triggered us and kept going up, stopped us out before it continued going lower. End of the day, it is what it is. We take another loss. We're not entering any more trades here, even though I could have entered another sell. I'm not, because simply we've set up a plan that we're going to follow to the T, which is in the first episode. We're not going to take more than 2 trades per day. So that's when I left the charts. So really unfortunate. We started the challenge negative 4%. Now we're up 4% and then back to break even. So next day after those 2 losses that we've taken. All right, so after those 2 losses, woke up next day, saw this price change, giving us higher highs and higher lows, higher high, higher low. And then price was ranging right here. So I'm anticipating a continuation to the upside to break this high. This is where we enter. So we placed our entry right here in this range. So this is a good entry in my opinion. So after we broke out, placed my limits here and my stop losses, protecting my stop loss under this low. And then what next thing you know is just price just straight up. And then price just instantly hits our TP. It wasn't very instant. Obviously, this is like around like 2 hours. So after this trade, 2.55 R, we cut around 4,200. So that puts our account at 104,000 for the challenge account. Now, not gonna lie, I did get a little bit greedy here after I saw the price rejecting from this area. Continuing with my higher time frame point of view, I was looking for lower prices for gold from this point. I placed my limits right there and just price didn't even react to our entry. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I risked half right here just because it was an additional entry to my day. If I get a win, I'm just kind of done for the day. But after seeing this, I went with half risk. So puts our account right now at 103,000 for the challenge account. All right, so June 6th, price was very bullish. Obviously, we mitigated this range right here. However, for this trade, I cut it down short. I wasn't very happy with the price action that I was getting. So I kind of exited around here for just a profit of $400, which is kind of break even if you can call it. And I just didn't trade for the rest of the day because price didn't give us any entries really. Next day, June 7 on Friday, I looked at price right here, and on the higher time frame we were kind of shifting to an uptrend. Price reacted to our range right here from our previous long entries, which is pretty valid to me. Right here, I was looking for a continuation to the upside. However, after this huge down sell pressure, price did not respect our entry at all. It is what it is. It was a Friday, so I was not looking for any entries anymore. That was a negative 2%, brings our account back to 102,000. We're up totally right here, 2% on the whole account. Awesome. It was a whole lot of emotions involved in this whole journey so far. We've had our downs, we've had our ups, and our downs came before our ups, which is awesome, which you guys get to see. This is trading. Some days you lose, and we started the challenge perfectly by losing. I don't want to start the challenge with me just straight up going through phase one with nothing, because I treat trading like it's any other business. You have losing days and you have good days, and it's all about how you manage the losing days, how you deal with your emotions. I cannot wait to just finish up with the first phase. Just because I've set that target, I'm not gonna force myself to pass the challenge within that target, because I'm only trading whatever the market gives me, and I'm not forcing any trades. And we're up around 3 to 4%. I'm really happy so far. So hopefully within the next episode, we get to actually crush first phase and hopefully the second phase as well. Hopefully you guys got a thing or two from this video. Now that we're up like 3 to 4%, I'm really excited to see what next week got for us, so that we can hopefully pass our first phase, which is 8%, our target. Just subscribe right now to stay on the journey, and just like this video so that more people can join us in this journey, hopefully.